He's bottom lane.
Thanks, Riv. I want to welcome Robert Exley and Bubba Dub from compLexity after a win against CLG. Congratulations on that one. Robert, I want to hit you with a question straight off the bat, which is that earlier in the split you tweeted out, how do you play against a team that doesn't know what they're doing? Well, I will now pose that question to you. How do you play against a team that doesn't quite know what they're doing against CLG?
Well, I'd say that we didn't know what we were doing either, so it was two teams that didn't know what they're doing, and hence the 60-minute game, or almost 60-minute game.
So, well, okay, so in that case, when both teams are scrambling to figure each other out, how do you make mid-game adaptations based on the new information that you're getting as the game plays out?
Well, Nidalee became a problem. She got a really big lead over Irelia, which made the game hard to control the map. But then after some Kassadin plays here and there, we got a pick here and there, we were able to control the objectives, and we were just playing around them. And
Bubba Dub, you got to play against a couple veterans of the LCS. As one of the newcomers, what's that experience like to play against some legends, people that you probably heard about and followed back when they played?
Well, I know Hotshot thinks I feed a lot, so I had to try not to feed too much this game. But other than that, I mean, I would say that it is fun, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I should have, or the game shouldn't have been that close, I should say.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, let's look at why the game was that close then. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, we've seen the Zilean come out, and Hotshot's been playing it a bunch. How do you play against a Zilean? Because essentially what that means is that every person on the other team has a GA, right? And you're not really sure who it is going to be and who it's going to put on. So what's targeting like in team fights?
I would say Zilean's kind of bad against hard engage, but we didn't have any of that. We had a bunch of split, and I think Zilean was a really good pick there because they were able to chase us down if we tried to split too much. And I think it showed a little bit because they got a lot of good fights off. And anytime we wanted to fight, they just back off. And we didn't have hard engage because Elise and Braum aren't really good at hard engage. Our hard engage was like Kassadin and Riff walking in.
All right. Well, I want to take a look at a replay real quick. We're about 50 minutes in. It's around the Baron pit. You guys go 4 for 2 and take the Baron. So if you don't mind, Robert, walking me through this one.
So what are we doing here? The call was to burn Baron. We get the Baron. I'm just hitting the front line while the rest of my team is like creating chaos with chaos. And when the Zilean or Tristana got popped, we immediately turned for Tristana and we immediately just chased them down. And at that point we were almost went 4 for 0, but then the Zilean just, oh my god.
Yeah, the Zilean bomb are wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I saw all my whole team like at low HP, and I was like, where did half my team go?
Yep. Where did my team
combusting? Well, after that, you guys, methodically close out the game. It took a little bit of time, as you said. It's hard to siege up against that. You don't have the hard engage, and you were able to close out the game. But I now want to look kind of into the future a little bit. Unfortunately, you guys are now sitting outside of playoffs in that 7th spot. So looking ahead towards relegations, what are you guys looking to do as a team to like regroup in mindset and re-qualify?
I would say that the only thing that we're working on is ourselves and just to get better as a team. As you can see, we're notorious for being unable to close out games, and that's just something that we just need to work on as a team.
Well, and to that end, Bubba Dub, how do you feel that the team has improved over the whole split? Because this has been 28 games of evolution, right, for compLexity. Granted, you have one more game tomorrow, so I guess 27 games of evolution for compLexity. How do you feel the journey's been?
It's been a long journey, and I would say that at the start, we were falling apart pretty much as soon as the game started. First 5-10 minutes would pretty much decide the game. And if we didn't get a huge lead early, we would lose the game. And then we progressed. We're able to get leads early game and go even early game and get into the mid game where we'd basically stall out and hope that late game our composition would be able to carry us to victory. And now I'd say we're making a lot more mid game moves. So it's definitely moving in a positive direction. And I think next split we could definitely make playoffs.
Absolutely. Do you feel like the acquisition of Kez, in the middle of the split, or I guess in the first third of the split, was a plus, right? You were 1-7 before that. My question is whether or not you feel you could have done better with him off the get-go.
Kez brought a whole different aura with the team. Before, we'd either go too ham or too passive. And I'd say, and Kez really plays around the objectives, which is how I feel the game should actually be played compared to, hey, should we fight here? I don't know. Let's go flip a coin. All right, heads, let's fight. That's kind of how it was before.
I'd like to see that if you took the time to like flip a coin before making that decision.
And you see on our camera, and we're like, what are they doing? Oh, they're going in.
It's their decision-making process. At least when it lands, you have, like, everyone's got to follow it, right? That'd be a very interesting way to see a game played out if everything had to be done by the flip of a coin. All right, well, looking at tomorrow, right, you play EG, the team currently in 8th. They have 2 games tomorrow. So tomorrow's game is going to decide kind of that positioning there at the bottom of the bracket. So how important is that game coming in with a very strong plan and the win?
Yeah, definitely beating EG tomorrow would be our most important match because it decides who's 7th and 8th. And looking at the challenger scene, I would say that Coast would be the strongest challenger team, and I feel like they're with the skill difference between Coast and let's say whoever the second place team is very big, and it's really important that we don't play them during relegations.
All right. Well, we've got that game coming up right now. We're going to watch Coast play. So it'll be very interesting to see them perform, especially in that LAN setting. Are you guys going to stick around and watch that game, Bubba Dub?
Maybe. I like to watch these games from the comfort of my own home normally, so I'll probably head home and then tune in.
That's fair. Kick the shoes off, lay back on the couch and all that junk. I like it. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the desk. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck in tomorrow's match against EG. I know it's an important one. Now we're going to throw it back over to Riv and Jack.